Hey, I'm Denny's. Quick question. Have you ever heard someone speak English and thought, I wish I sounded like that? All right, today I'm talking about sounding confident in English, and I'm not just giving tips. I'm giving practical stuff you can try tonight. You'll walk away knowing 3 clear ways to change your voice, 2 mindset shifts that actually help, and specific drills you can practice in 10 minutes. First thing, confidence doesn't come from fancy words, it shows up in how you use the sounds you already know. Think of it like music. The same notes can feel timid or bold depending on rhythm and volume. Okay, let's get into the first chunk. Voice basics you can change immediately to sound more confident. Breath control is the backbone of a confident voice, not a trick reserved for singers or actors. If you're breathing shallow from your chest, your voice gets higher and shaky. That's a nervous-sounding voice. Try this. Inhale slowly for 4 counts. Let it settle low in your belly, then speak on the exhale for 6 counts. Do that once and you'll feel the voice drop a bit, and that lower tone is often perceived as more confident. Projection isn't yelling. Projection is sending sound clearly to the person you're talking to, like aiming a flashlight. Stand or sit tall, open your chest a little, and speak toward the person you imagine across from you. When I first tried this, my coworkers said I sounded calmer on calls, and I wasn't even aware of it until they mentioned it. Pace matters more than you think. Rushing makes you seem anxious. Slowing down makes you sound measured. Aim for a deliberate pace, like telling a short story to a friend, with small pauses to let ideas land. Pauses are powerful. A 2-second silence can do more for authority than 5 extra words strung together. I used to rush through emails aloud and sound nervous on calls. Then I tried pausing between main points and people started listening more. Intonation is next. Stop ending declarative sentences, like questions. That's called uptalk and it weakens statements. Practice dropping your pitch slightly at the end of a sentence. It takes effort, but it signals certainty. Example, instead of saying, I think we could try that, say, I think we could try that, and let your voice settle down. Consonants give clarity. Making crisp endings like T and D helps words land clearly, especially in noisy calls. Muffled endings make you sound unsure, like you're trailing off. Push slightly on final consonants to close words cleanly. Reduce filler words, like, you know, they creep in when your brain is searching and your voice shows the search. Instead of filling space, use short, silent pauses. Your listeners will think you're thinking, not lost. A quick exercise. Record yourself answering a simple question for 60 seconds and count filler words, then try to cut them in half next recording. Vocabulary tips. You don't need big words to sound confident. You need precise words used with certainty. Say, I will finish this by Friday instead of, I think I can finish this by Friday. Small modal shifts change perceived commitment. Be careful with hedging phrases like maybe, probably, I guess. Swap 1 or 2 with firmer language when it matters. But don't fake authority on topics you don't know. Confident speakers also admit uncertainty cleanly and suggest next steps. For example, I don't have that number right now, but I will check and tell you by 3 p.m. That sounds honest and in control. Body language affects voice, even on phone calls. Your physical posture sends signals to your brain that change your tone. Try standing up during important calls or sitting with shoulders back and hands relaxed, and notice how your voice firms up. Eye contact helps too when you're in person. When that's not possible, pick a neutral point to look at and keep your head level. Practice through shadowing. Pick a short clip of a confident native speaker and mimic their rhythm, stress, and tone. I did shadowing for 10 minutes a day for 2 weeks, and people told me I sounded more natural and less hesitant. Shadowing forces your mouth and brain to learn new rhythms, and rhythm is half of what makes speech feel confident. Now the stuff people ask about how to handle nerves on calls or presentations without sounding fake or robotic. First, preparation reduces nervousness. Know the 3 points you want to make, and rehearse how you'll say each one. Write short bullets with the exact phrasing you want, then rehearse them aloud until they feel natural but not memorized. Second, use anchor phrases when you feel your voice wobble, like, let me say that again clearly, and then repeat calmly. Third, use a power start. Begin with a clear opening line like, here's what matters most, and then lead with your top point. Micro-story tactic, open with a 1-sentence example to frame your point, then explain the lesson. That structure sounds confident and grounded. Numbers increase credibility. Say, we've tested this with 30 customers and 80% saw improvement, instead of vague, many customers. Concrete details make your voice land. People trust specifics, and that trust boosts perceived confidence. Practice on the phone first. Phone voice training helps because you can't rely on facial cues, so your voice has to do more. Try this 2-minute practice. Pick one topic, speak for 60 seconds with a steady pace, then listen back and note 3 things to fix. Do that daily for a week and watch small habits shift. Fewer ups and downs, cleaner endings, fewer ums. Okay, quick mid-break. I want to hear from you what single English phrase makes you nervous to say out loud. Reply with one sentence or record a 20-second voice note and send it my way so we can look at it together. If you do send a voice note, pick one short line and I'll give one specific fix you can use right away. All right, back to the tips. Now we'll go deeper into pronunciation hacks, practice routines, and mindset changes that stick. Pronunciation hack 1: exaggerate sounds when practicing, then dial back when speaking naturally. It trains your mouth to reach fuller sounds. I used to mumble final consonants, so I practiced over-enunciating for 5 minutes a day and my words started landing clearer on calls. Hack 2: use stress patterns to show important words. English relies on rhythm, so emphasize key nouns and verbs, not every word. Example: say, I need the report by Monday, with stress on need and Monday so the listener knows the priority and timing. Hack 3: reduce vowel reductions and keywords. Full vowels in important words make you sound more deliberate and easier to follow. Practice phrase chunking. Group words into meaningful chunks instead of reading single words. It makes speech smoother and more authoritative. For instance, read, "We will review the results tomorrow morning," in 2 chunks. We will review and the results tomorrow morning. Regular drills. 10-minute daily routine that works. Warm-up breath, 3 minutes shadowing, 3 minutes of recording, 2 minutes of notes. Do it 5 days a week for a month and you'll build muscle memory. Small daily practice beats one long session once a month every time. Use scripts for high-stakes situations. Prepare short, clear scripts for presentations, interviews, and client calls, then practice them aloud. Scripts reduce cognitive load so your voice can focus on tone and projection instead of searching for words under pressure. Role play with a friend or record both sides of a conversation. Rehearsing the opposition makes you ready for curveball questions. When you mess up, correct yourself calmly. Actually, let me rephrase that and then restate the point succinctly. That little reset line shows presence and control, not panic. People notice composure more than perfection. Mindset shift 1: reframe nervous energy as excitement. It uses the same physiology, but different meaning makes a huge difference. Before a call, tell yourself, "I'm excited to share this," instead of "I'm nervous." Your voice and posture change almost immediately. Mindset shift 2: focus outward. Confidence comes faster when you think of helping the other person, not defending your image. If you ask yourself, "How can I make this useful for them?" your tone will soften in the right way and your words will be clearer. What actually works versus what doesn't? Long vocabulary lists without speaking practice don't help much. Active use does. Listening-only strategies give comprehension but not production confidence. You need to speak deliberately to build audible confidence. Faking a deep voice artificially by pushing your throat makes you sound strained. Instead, use breath support and resonance in your chest. Quick demo. Say a sentence while supporting breath low in the belly, then try the same while pushing throat. You'll hear which sounds more natural. Use recording tools that let you see waveform peaks. Consistent, even peaks usually mean steady breath and clear projection. If you're nervous about accents, focus on clarity, not erasing your accent. Clarity is what people equate with confidence. Accent adds identity. Clear consonants, steady pace, and correct stress patterns will make you understandable and confident even with an accent. Set realistic goals. Aim to cut fillers by half in 2 weeks or to add 2 strong pauses into presentations, rather than chasing perfection. Measure progress with simple metrics: number of fillers per minute, average pause length, or listener comprehension in role plays. Social hacks: when you disagree, use short declarative statements like "I see it differently," then offer one supporting point. That phrasing sounds calm and controlled, and it avoids sounding defensive or apologetic while still asserting your view. Email to speech trick. Read your important emails aloud before sending. If you hear hedges or weak phrasing, change them to firmer language. Practice micro-presentations, 1-minute summaries of projects that highlight problem, action, result. Keep them crisp and practiced. If you panic during Q&A, repeat the question aloud slowly and then answer. Repeating buys you time and clarifies the request. Use names in conversation. Sarah, that's a great point. Names anchor attention and make interactions feel more deliberate and confident. When learning phrasal verbs or idioms, use them in short personal sentences out loud, not just in your head, to build muscle memory. Public speaking model, say your opening line with energy in the first 5 seconds. Confidence is contagious right from the start. If you stumble, slow down and reset, rather than speeding up to cover mistakes. Rushing draws more attention to the error. Practice different registers: informal chat, professional briefing, enthusiastic pitch. Switch between them so your voice gets flexible. Flexibility helps in real conversations where tone needs to shift fast. Practiced flexibility feels like confidence, not acting. Tech tip: test your audio setup before important calls. Clear sound reduces the amount you have to over-explain and keeps you sounding calm. If your mic makes you sound thin, a cheap USB mic or headset can make your voice fuller and give you instant presence on calls. Practice with a small audience first. Record and send to a trusted friend for one specific bit of feedback, then iterate quickly. Feedback should be narrow. Pick one thing to improve per session so you don't overwhelm yourself with too many changes at once. Celebrate small wins. Fewer fillers, one smoother presentation, clearer endings. Tracking wins builds actual confidence, not just belief. One real example: I had 2 minutes to introduce a product and I rehearsed one crisp sentence for a week, and the meeting turned into a pilot project. That tiny preparation paid off because the opening controlled the room and made follow-up questions easier to handle. Another real story: a friend who hated public speaking started recording short weekly updates on his phone and shared them with teammates. Within 6 weeks, his updates were clearer. He used fewer hedges, and his manager asked him to present to the larger team. So practice in small, consistent chunks. 10 minutes daily beats sporadic marathon sessions every month. If you have only 1 week before a big moment, prioritize: warm breath, 1 practiced opening line, and 2 pauses to slow pace. If you have a month, add shadowing, recording practice, and a role play with a friend to simulate pressure. If you want a 3-month plan, build daily 10-minute practice, including breath work, shadowing, recording, and a weekly live practice. Now, a quick checklist you can use right before any call. Breathe low for 20 seconds. Stand tall, say your opening once, and smile briefly. Smiling actually changes your voice. It opens the mouth and brightens tone so you come across as friendly and confident at once. Final practical habit: keep a short list of power phrases for the situations you face. Clear deadlines, polite refusals, concise affirmations. Examples: I'll deliver that by Friday. I can take that on. Let's prioritize this one. Simple lines that signal action and control. Recap time: 3 biggest takeaways you can use right now to sound more confident in English. Takeaway 1: control breath and pace. Breathe low, pause more, and speak with intention so your words land. Takeaway 2: clarity beats complexity. Use specific words, clean consonants, and stress key points to be understood and trusted. Takeaway 3: practice small and daily. Shadowing, recording, and short role-play push small changes that feel natural fast. If this helped you, share it with one person who might use these tips in a job interview or meeting this week. Thanks for sticking with me. Try one breathing drill right after you finish this and see how your voice feels. Bye for now.